All right, again, and I apologize for that inconvenience, but I want to welcome all of you. We currently have about 260 virtual guests with us today here at Lichtsinn Motors, where we're literally only 1 mile from Winnebago, Itasca, and Era here in Forest City, Iowa, making us America's closest dealer to Winnebago, Itasca, and Era. I want to welcome all of you today, but I want to give special thanks to Karen and Jim Miller for welcoming us to their living room, as they're the future owners of this 2014 Winnebago Via 25P. So again, welcome. Today we're going to cover the 2014 Winnebago Via 25P and the Minnie Winnie 25B. We're going to go through a live interactive presentation, but before we do that, just a couple of housekeeping issues. In order for you to communicate with us, if you would, just log into the lower right-hand corner of your screen with your first name, and you can chat in questions live to us as we go through the interactive presentation on the Via 25P and the Minnie Winnie 25B. Also keep in mind that we can do this, and we've had great success with this and great rapport with our customers, in which we can actually do a live one-on-one interactive presentation with each of you in the comfort of your own home or office, and conference in your partner, your spouse, engaging in a nice three-way setting so that we can actually do a complete interactive presentation with each of you. So I just want to welcome you all today, and again give special thanks to Karen and Jim. They'll be taking delivery of their 25P here in a few weeks. We actually do have this unit live on our website, and we've already reordered it with Winnebago, which will be here in about 5 to 6 weeks. So again, welcome to each of you. I also want to just introduce behind the scenes Josh Dam, our marketing director, behind the camera, and Casey Singlestead, our RV sales manager, who will be taking us through the Via 25P. So again, welcome to each of you. I encourage you to log into the lower right hand corner of your chat screen so that we can actually receive your questions live as we go through the 25P today. So again, welcome to each of you.
All right. So as Ron mentioned, we're starting out here in the 25P before we move over to the 25B Minnie Winnie. Just kind of reviewing a bit of the cab. As you all know, if you joined us for our previous webcast covering the Via Reyo, all of this will look very similar to what that did. A few changes for 2014. You have the seats that come from Mercedes. They'll look familiar for any of you that have taken some time to look at the Winnebago View or Itasca Navion. Also the chairs that are in the Era. They are adjustable. You can raise them, lower them. Of course, adjust the backrest, has lumbar support, and all of that, so you can get it exactly where it's most comfortable for you. Same deal with the infotainment center as in 2013. You have the picture-in-picture screen, which is what we have it on now, so you can split that with your navigation as well as your radio, whatever you'd want to have on there. Your camera system, of course, you have the rear camera as well as the side cameras.
And then also all new for 2014, the GPS system actually now includes the RV-friendly Rand McAnally software. So it'll provide clearance heights as you travel to different locations throughout the United States. It also has some nice integration with Bluetooth hands-free calling, and it also includes Sirius XM satellite radio. So it's a wonderful infotainment system that we've included for 2014.
Yeah, some nice upgrades with that. The 25B, or excuse me, the 25P, just like our other Vias and Reyos, does come with the optional driver's door, which we have on this 25P. You can also get the optional loft bed that would be right above where I'm standing now, that would allow you to sleep an additional 2 people. This is the same 3.0 liter Mercedes-Benz diesel engine. It has the 188 horsepower with the 325 pounds-feet of torque.
And Casey, if I can interrupt you right there, we had a great question from Roger wanting to know which of the cab seats up front have lumbar support.
Sure. Actually, both of the cab chairs right up front will have that lumbar support. I don't know if you can see this. It's actually a knob that's located just here on the side is what will support your lumbar support, and you can see the way that that's changing in the backrest when you adjust that lumbar. So both of those cab chairs will have that.
So good question, and thank you, Roger. So keep your questions coming in as we're live.
Yep. So as you can see up above, since we do not have the loft bed, you have this nice bank of storage instead that goes all the way across the front.
And then if I can rudely interrupt one more time, another great question that just came in from John wanting to know whether or not the coach has independent front suspension. which was actually a test quiz that we actually had in our product training here just a few weeks ago. So I know Casey has the answer to that.
Yes, it does have independent front suspension. So that's something that you hear primarily. That's a very large upgrade in the Tour and Ellipse line, which is the very highest line of our diesel pushers. However, what's nice about this Class A is that since it is on the Sprinter chassis, you do still have that independent front suspension because it's that same chassis that they use in the Class B as well as the Class C version of this coach.
And that's a feature that a lot of you will see on your light duty passenger vehicles, and what that allows in terms of performance characteristics is as you change terrain or as you pull into an entrance to a location, what will end up happening is the one wheel that takes that elevation will absorb all that jounce. And it really provides for the alleviation with some other RV manufacturers that use I-beam suspensions where you might get some tip or some rock to the coach as you go into different elevation changes. So because this is a chassis that is utilized with a lot of the different transport companies such as FedEx and UPS, that independent front suspension feature is included in the Via Reyo as well as the View Navion and Navion and Navion IQ.
All right, we'll kind of swing our way over to the entry door area, but again, as your questions come up, just be sure to keep on asking those. Not a whole lot of change here in the entryway. You still have the screen door. All of your controls located here in the stepwell are all in the same location. You have your battery disconnect, your step control, as well as your electric awning as well. It does have a 16-foot electric awning, so it's just with the simple touch of a button that you're able to use that, which is just where Ron is pointing now. And then actually a new awning light. That's brand new for 2014. Winnebago has added LED lights in the awning, which you'll find in a lot of all of the Via Reyo 2014 floor plans will now have that. Moving just up from that is the Jensen stereo system. Slightly different than the one that Winnebago has used in the past, but same types of features and function. It will serve as your DVD player for you. Your stereo system has an alarm clock. You're able to plug in auxiliary, USB. Really does everything all in one location. So very nice thing to have.
So this is the feature that actually powers the surround sound system, but you can also access the Sirius XM satellite radio to the rear of the coach off the front AV receiver as well. And if I can also interrupt one more time, a great question that just came in from Barry wanting to know whether or not these two seats will actually rise up to provide you more clearance off the main ground level, which is a great question, Barry.
Right, so right now they're actually at their highest point. So if I go ahead and sit down here, this is the highest that the chairs will go. And then when you swivel around, obviously you'll still be rather high, and so you can go ahead and crank those down to the height that you like them at, which is a nice feature in comparison to the old chairs. Is before the chair had to be all the way down, whereas now if you are a taller individual, you can go ahead and leave that chair higher when you're driving down the road.
And we just had another question come in from Scott, which is a great question, wanting to know which of the two receivers have Bluetooth. And the front infotainment system will have Bluetooth hands-free calling. And the coach radio as well, you can actually tether in with the Bluetooth, and the button for it is actually right here. So thank you for pointing that out, Casey.
Yep, that's actually a brand new feature on this year's model of the Jensen stereo system that was not on last year's. So kind of moving into the galley area, one of the things that that you might be noticing is the cabinetry. This is a brand new option for 2014. It's what's called Aosta Cherry. So it's kind of a lighter cabinetry that doesn't have quite the same cherry as what the Sunset Cherry does. So a few different wood options for 2014 that you'll be able to choose from, and this is one of them.
It's a great blend kind of between the mocha cherry that we offered last year and kind of a redder sunset cherry, and it really is a very similar tone to kind of some oak that you've seen in the past. So a nice new offering in the cherry wood line for 2014.
There was a lot of the features throughout have just carried over from 2013, excuse me. Same sink system as what you've seen in the past, with the adjustable faucet, and then of course the glass lid, so that way you can use this for additional countertop space. A great feature of this 25P is the fact that it has this really nice large window here on your patio side. so you can get a really great view of underneath your patio. And then of course you have your MCD shades that are applied to this as well. Again,
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, we just had another question. As we're in this area, we had a question from a customer wanting to know if the interior ceiling heights have changed for 2014.
Just a great question. The interior height this year is 6'5", which I believe is actually the same from last year.
You bet.
Yeah. So a lot of those types of specifications, excuse me, haven't changed a whole lot. The length of the 25P is 25 foot 5 inches, which is going to be the same as what the 25T and 25Q are as well.
But really a nice expansive galley in this 25P floor plan for 2014.
Yep, so you get some really great countertop space, and then of course with the addition of the glass lids that are on the range top and the sink, you get some really good space there.
With just a real massive picture window right over your curbside or your patio side. Nice backsplash off to the right hand side.
Yep.
Nice deep cabinets as well.
Yep, same as before. Still has the speed cook convection oven, the full length extension drawers located throughout, so that way you can truly access every square inch inside all of your storage, which is great. One of the new features for the 25P is actually the refrigerator. This has the brand new double door Norcold refrigerator. So you get separate spaces for the two. Still, you have the adjustable bins and shelves inside of each. If you remember the refrigerator that has been used previously in the Via and Reyo, and will continue to be used, however this is a different version of it, where you do get two separate doors versus the ice box that's a part of the refrigerator, and then of course your separate freezer space as well. Just above the refrigerator is where Winnebago has located the majority of your one-place panel for your heated holding tanks, your LP valve shutoff, your inverter, the controls for all of your slide rooms, and then of course the key that operates that as well. The only other component of that is located just on the other side that will monitor all of your holding tanks, as well as you can start and stop your generator and turn on things like your water heater, water pump, all of that, which of course your water heater, you have both LP as well as electric controls for that. So for some of you that are familiar with the View and Navion, this is really, Winnebago has taken the 24P, or excuse me, the 24J, and basically applied that into the Via Reyo floor plan, as it also features the corner bed, just like in the 24J.
And a good follow-up question from Roger on the refrigerator, wanting to know if that's a factory installed option or if that's standard for 2014.
This refrigerator in the 25P is standard. So this is the refrigerator that you'll get with this floor plan.
And great, easy to use LCD gauges, whether or not you want to use it in automatic mode or electric. It's also propane, and it's also 12 volt. So it is a three-way fridge. So
good three-way refrigerator. And of course you can leave that on your automatic setting so that way it will switch between whichever it has readily available, so that way you don't have to monitor that on your own. Back in the bedroom area, this is a corner bed located here in the 25P. One of the really great features of it is that you do get some additional storage below the mattress here. If you want to kind of zoom in on that, Josh. Just adds to the overall interior capacity of your storage here in the 25P. You do also have an exterior storage capacity of 70 cubic feet, which is excellent. So you get some really good exterior storage along with this.
Yeah, so you've got storage actually on the outside underneath the bed, and then we also partition it on the inside of the bed as well.
Yep.
Just down below there, you'll actually see the surround sound system and then the converter charger.
Yep, just on the other side of that storage compartment that we looked at, that opposite side here is a large exterior storage compartment. Going to be a great place for some of your larger items that you need to store, maybe some golf clubs, things of that nature that take up a little bit more space. As you can see back in this bedroom area, you get some really good overhead cabinets as well as some nice accent lighting as well. You do have a privacy curtain that can partition this off when you are using this area. You can kind of cruise back there. There's also a TV located here in the corner bed area, which is a really great feature.
And so right now we're actually just broadcasting local off-air, high definition digital TV. That comes off of the standard off-air antenna that's included, but all of our coaches are pre-wired for satellite, and we can include any type of a satellite that you'd like within any of our coaches that are pre-wired from Winnebago. And we've got a wonderful satellite RV 101 video on our video library, and we also had the previous topic of a webcast in which we invited some representatives from King Controls up in Minneapolis to go through that. So check that out in our video library online.
Yep. This corner bed here is 51 by 75 inches, so it is going to be slightly larger than the bed that is located in the 24J View Navion. As you can see back here, of course, you have the 2 pillows, but you also have 2 extra cushions that we just happen to have sitting back here on the corner bed. That's actually to be used with the dinette when you have that laid down.
And while we've got a quick pause here, I want to be respectful of people's questions. Chris had a follow-up question on the fridge that we had covered earlier, but just to repeat, this is a 3-way refrigerator, so it is both electric, propane, as well as 12 volt. So good question on that refrigerator, Chris.
All right, so just adjacent to the corner bed is, of course, then the corner bathroom. So we'll just kind of take a step back into here. Very similar shower arrangement to what you've seen in a lot of the other Sprinter floor plans as well, where it does have the retractable shower door. So it actually squeegees itself off, so that way you don't have to worry about doing the cleaning of that. And then, of course, you do have the convenience of the additional water pump switch. So you do have 3 locations for your water pump switch: in the living area, here in the bathroom, as well as outside. Good vanity storage, as well as some good overhead storage located here in the bathroom. Traditional toilet that Winnebago rises to make that a residential height, and then, of course, with the foot flush, as well as the pull-out sprayer for easy cleaning.
Now let's actually show all of our viewers the new door for 2014.
Yep, so here in the corner bathroom there's a nice sliding door. It's actually made out of the same as your cabinetry. It's the Technoform cabinetry that will slide all the way around to then block off your corner bathroom. So a really nice finish to that, very easy to use.
Really provides incredible privacy.
Yep, and then of course you have a strap that can then hold that in place for while you're traveling. Kind of continuing around the coach, another really great thing about this floor plan is that you do get some excellent interior storage. As you can see here, really nice wardrobe closet where you actually get some additional space here at the rear, in addition to having a clothes rod that you can use to hang for your wardrobe space as well. Some of the extras that come along with the Via and Reyo is what you see here in the closet. So you have your prop rod for your entry door, as well as your sewer hose, your removable carpet for up in the cab that's all fitted. And then, of course, some of your remotes and things like that is what comes inside of the box. Just below the hanging space, you actually get a nice drawer stack as well. Again, as you can see, that full-length extension, you'll be able to pull that drawer all the way out so that you're able to store more here in this drawer stack.
And then as we leave this area, Jim had a request, which was a great question, wanting to see just a larger shot of the shower. So Josh, if I can just ask that you cover the bathroom and take a look at that shower one more time. The question was specifically which of the Via and Reyo models have the largest shower. And this shower that's in this 25P for 2014 will be very close to the largest, the 25Q being slightly smaller, and the 25T layout being very similar, but just set up in a different design. So you could argue that the 25T may be slightly larger, but it would be nominal at best. So this is very close to the largest shower in the Via and the Reyo lineup. So good question from Jim, thank you. Also, as we're walking by here, if we could just come back to the one place panel, we had a question from Pete wanting to know the size of the inverter just to the right there, Josh, above the slide rim switches. So Casey, if you could cover that.
Sure. As you can see, this is a 1,000 watt inverter. So what's really great about this is it's going to be wired to your entertainment center, as well as a large amount of your outlets as well. So that way, if you are dry camping or driving down the road, you're going to be able to use a lot of your 110 volt appliances as well as your outlets. So it's a very nice convenience to have in a coach. It's becoming a lot more customary now that you have larger televisions in RVs. A lot of people that travel with a lot of technology, like laptops, cell phones, things like that, that you need to be able to keep charged and using while you're traveling. So really nice feature to have.
And then also, just to be respectful of people's questions, the question was, how much room do you have when the slide comes in? And at the end of the webcast, when we leave this coach and slide over to the 25B, we'll actually bring this slide in so that you can see. But really the depth that you have there is about 42 inches or so within that slide room. But we'll cover that as we get back inside, and we can actually cover a sweeping shot as we're leaving and heading over to the Minnie Winnie. So good question.
Yeah, so another nice thing of the 25P is that you do have a nice, large, really deep slide room. However, the nice thing with Winnebago is that they do always make it available for you when your slide room is in, that you can still access all of your galley area as well as the bathroom, so that way you can still use that area while you're driving down the road, or should you have to boondock and you're unable to take your slide out.
And then consistent with that question that we had on how much room we have, John also wanted to know what type of slide it is. And this is a Schwintek slide, which actually uses a track system on the top and the bottom, as opposed to a motor with a worm gear. So we don't have to actually place the cam assemblies underneath inside the basement. So we have more basement storage by using the Schwintek slide, and it's actually a little bit quicker and a little bit smoother. So a good question, and as we bring this in, you'll be able to see the speed at it towards the end of the webcast.
All right, so here in the living area of the 25P, this is a 32-inch high-definition television. And I should mention the one that was back in the corner bed area is a 22-inch. So really good visibility here from your dinette, as well as your two swivel chairs, which is great because those really are integral living components of your coach when you are parked and able to use those. We've optioned this 25P to have the dinette. It's also an option to have the sofa, both of which will fold down into a sleeping space, so that way this coach is rated to sleep 4 and can go up to 6 with the loft bed. As Ron is showing now, this does have the benchmark dinette, which is great because you're able to actually fold up the seat of the bench on a piano hinge and access just that entire amount of storage that's down below. So you don't have to mess with a separate piece of plywood and separate cushion and trying to hold that up, or a drawer where you're not able to truly utilize all of that storage space. It's also very easy to make down into a sleeping space should you need to. Just below the cushion is actually a small platform that this table will rest on in order to make that into a sleeping space. Actually is a really nice size space. The dinette will actually make into a 42 by 75 inch sleeping space. The sofa that can be in its place would be a 60 by 78 inch sleeping space.
And then a couple follow-up questions while we're in this area. One question was with respect to the windows, if the thermal insulated windows are still the acrylic style, and yes, Chris, they actually are. And this is actually the glass style window, and we like to option this out, and most of our customers have opted for this because with the glass style windows you do get the MCD shade system. And the advantage to the MCD shade system is that you've got both solar for the day, and then you also have privacy for at night. But really the advantage to these is that they very simply just glide up with a gentle pull. They don't snap like traditional roller shades, and you can do that with both of these. The other great features to these are that you can actually adjust the speed at which they go up and down, and you can also adjust the set height. So if you always like the privacy shade to be stationary at this type of a location, you can have it stop there automatically every time. So good follow-up question. Keep those questions coming.
Really nice thing is that, I mean, as always, Winnebago tries to give you storage in any location that they possibly can. So even here above the dinette, you also have another full bank of storage overhead. As you can see in this compartment, this is actually where some of your additional hookups are going to be. You have an HDMI cable, as well as this is where you would put your satellite receiver should you choose to use a satellite dish. That would go here, and then of course you have the outlet available there as well. For any electronics that you'd like to have in that cabinet space. The Via and Reyo do use LED lights throughout, so you get really bright space, as well as those lights aren't quite as hot to the touch as what a halogen light would be as well.
And then Josh, actually, as you're down in that area, a question that had come in from Scott wanting to know whether or not this carpet is available in vinyl instead. And anything's possible. I mean, we can certainly have Winnebago customize that for you. The carpet is nice because it wraps down to the bottom and it's a little bit easier, but I mean, certainly anything is possible. Another question that had come in from Roger wanting to know whether or not there is a second armrest for the cab seats, and at this point there's not. And so we've certainly put that request into Winnebago to see if they'll do that in the future, but not at this current point in time. But good question, Roger.
Just kind of continuing on as far as some of the features that are carrying over. Of course, you still have the padded vinyl ceiling, which is just has a really nice aesthetic feel, looks nice, easy to clean. And then while we're up on the ceiling, you can also check out they are still using the King Jack TV antenna, so very easy to use. As you can see, you have the LED signal strength meter, which just makes it that much easier to find your signal quickly. One of the really nice things about it is that you don't have to worry about cranking it up or down because you simply swivel it to whichever location works best, and then that's it. You don't have to crank it down before you leave your campsite. You don't have to crank it up when you get there. So a very easy system to use, which is just a carryover from 2013. Also, of course, have the powered ventilator fan that's located here in the galley area. That'll move a lot of fresh air for you on those nice days that you're out using your RV. That way you can use that and simply crack a window open, and that will circulate quite a bit of fresh air then throughout your coach. So that way you can use some of that fresh air rather than your air conditioning system.
Good question that just came in from Jim wanting to know whether or not there are any pre-wired provisions for solar in the coach.
There are not. Same thing as what we talked about with the vinyl underneath the dinette. Really anything is possible. Our service and parts department has added solar systems to several coaches for our customers. It's a fairly common request, and so they would very easily be able to help you with that if solar was something that you wanted on this coach.
Yeah, and it's also a little bit easier on the Via and the Reyo because this is a Class A style setup. There's a lot more square footage up on the roof, so it's quite a bit easier. We are a little bit limited in terms of battery space, so when we've done those in the past, if you want to add additional batteries, we've tended to go into part of the compartment space in the basement. But very easy. Again, Winnebago uses a one-piece fiberglass roof, so very easy, very secure up top, and we've done a lot of solar installations like Casey had mentioned. So I think as we're wrapping up here with the 25P, one thing that I'd like to do is make certain that we cover the question from the previous chatter to ensure that we actually bring the slides in. And while we do that, try to think of other questions that we might have, because we're going to jump next door to the Minnie Winnie 25B here in a second.
So as you can see, the slide room works very easily. Again, this is the Schwintek slide that Ron was explaining earlier. Now if you just want to take a quick shot down the hallway area, you'll be able to see all of the space that you have when that slide room is in. So you still get a really nice wide aisleway all the way through the galley so that you can very easily use that space, still access your wardrobe as well as your refrigerator, and then of course still be able to use the bathroom as well.
Yeah, so really great camera shot there, Josh. Literally everything is accessible when you bring this slide out in. But it is a nice deep slide out too, because just look at all of the expansive space that you have in the wardrobe, a nice deep dinette, and a really well laid out floor plan from Winnebago, all new for 2014.
This particular Via 25P we've optioned with the Twitter interior is what it's called, and then of course with the Aosta cherry that we explained earlier. When we head outside, this is the Pearl full body paint. You'll have several options for full body paint, deluxe graphics options, and then of course a few different interior colors to choose from as well in any of the Via or Reyo line.
And then also a couple other questions that just came in, and great questions, wanting to know if the Schwintek slide is being amplified by the microphone, and it certainly is. When we brought that in, Casey was standing right next to it. So we've been using Schwintek slides now for years and really haven't had any complaints as to noise. They are very speedy, very easy to use, and virtually maintenance free. And then also a follow-up question on the floor plan with respect to the driver's door, wanting to know if you can do a driver's door with the overhead bed. So if you could cover that, Casey.
I can't say that I'm 100% confident to the answer of this, but I'm fairly certain that you cannot do the combination of both. I know that that's true throughout the other lines, and Ron's giving me the vertical head nod to say that it's true with this one as well, which primarily has to do with the weight. The driver's door is a heavier option as well as the loft bed. And so that way the combination of the two would take away too much from your cargo carrying capacity to have that type of a combination. You do have about 1,400 pounds worth of cargo carrying capacity in the 25P. Able to make sure that you can bring along everything with you and not have to leave anything at home.
Which is really pretty incredible, because we've been using the same 11,030 pound chassis for quite a while, yet we've been able to utilize lighter materials to gain more cargo carrying capacity. And so out of the 1,400 pounds, really you just take your people, cargo, and water. So really a tremendous amount of cargo carrying capacity in the Via and the Reyo line. So good question. Jim, I appreciate your feedback. You just made a comment on how well this is done. We're all done now with the Winnebago Via and Reyo 25P, but if you have other questions, be sure to chat them in. We're going to jump next door to the all-new 2014 Winnebago Minnie Winnie and Itasca Spirit 25B. So we're going to jump next door.
As we do that, it might get a little bit noisy as we go outside. It's kind of windy here in Iowa today, but I did unlock two of the larger storage compartments here in the 25P, so that way you could take a look at that, since it does have such good exterior storage. So we'll just go ahead and open those up as we walk outside. So this will be the other side of what's below this, what's on the other side of the storage that we looked at in the bed. So again, you get some really nice space in here that you could put some golf clubs or any type of larger item that you have that needs to go in this area. Again, this is the Pearl full body paint. Very nice neutral color. Just as in previous years, you can tow up to 5,000 pounds with a vertical tongue weight of 500. And then the second larger compartment is located just here on the slide room. So this is going to be on the back side of that wardrobe closet that we looked at when we were inside. And then we also went ahead and opened up one of the storage compartments on the 25B that we're about to go inside of. As you can see, just a massive amount of storage here in the rear that's also below the corner bed that's in the 25B. All right, welcome to the brand new 2014 Minnie Winnie. This is the 25B floor plan. As you can see, you get some really great space inside of here. There is no slide rooms. However, you do have some nice living space, combination of the dinette as well as the sofa, and then of course the overhead bed as well, so that you actually can sleep up to 8 in this coach. This is one of the floor plans that we feature in our rental fleet as well. So if rental is something that you're interested in, we now offer a shorter floor plan. The 25B does measure 26 foot 6 inches. We've optioned our coach to be on the Chevrolet chassis, which is 12,300 pounds. It has the 6-liter Chevy with the 6-speed transmission, which is great. So you get some additional power as well as weight that way in comparison to the Ford chassis that they use on the 25B floor plan, which is smaller than that. So as far as kind of your space here, you have a really nice sized overhead bed if you want to go ahead and get a good shot of that. That's actually a 57 by 95 inch sleeping space, so really nice large area that you can easily fit a couple adults. As you can see, it does have the ladder that will attach to that section there so that it's easy to get up and down. You, of course, also have the TV that's located there on the swivel stand. That's a 26-inch LED TV that also has the DVD player that's mounted just below the cabinets here that will work on your TV. This does have the forest cherry cabinetry located throughout. Really good banks of storage pretty much everywhere overhead, above the dinette, the sofa, as well as back in the corner bed area. This does have a 6-foot 10-inch interior height clearance. While you're up there, Josh, you can also see that this does have the Winegard crank-up TV antenna, so that way you are still able to get your local off-air channels when you're out camping. It does have ducted air conditioning throughout. In comparison to the V and Reyo where you saw the MCD roller shades, this does have the pleated night shades. So it's still very easy to use. It's just to simply use both hands to go ahead and pull down on those, and then you'll be able to block out for privacy at night. Winnebago's done a really great job with the interior. As you can see, the leather throughout. This is the cider interior. It has the darker leather option. There will be 2 other interior choices that you can choose from that will have a lighter colored leather. So of course your dinette, as we mentioned, this will actually make into a sleeping space the same exact way as the dinette in the 25P does. And then of course you also have your sofa. This is a jackknife sofa. So it simply has a release located just in the middle that will allow you to just simply pull up and then down in order to fold that out into a sleeping area.
And then if I can interrupt, a good question that just came in from John wanting to know if the bunk ladder can support 250 pounds, and I believe that's actually exactly what it's rated at.
I'm not positive.
Yep.
But I do think that's fairly close. If not, it might be slightly higher than that.
And John, also, if you want, you can actually just leave us your phone number or your email address, or just submit a note on our website so that we have your contact information. We can certainly research that as well and get back to you. So good question on the bunk ladder.
All right, so as you can see again, really nice large bank of storage, good lighting here throughout the coach. You get individual reading lights here over the sofa, as well as one located above the dinette, which all continues throughout the galley area. In the galley, you'll find a 3-burner range top. Of course, that's an LP range top. It does have the direct vent as well as the light located above. And then, of course, your microwave oven just above that.
A couple of questions that just came in, if we could cover. Wanting to know if there's storage underneath the dinette. Linda submitted that question. And then Claude also wanting to know if this is available on the Ford chassis. So, great questions.
Yes, you can order the 25P on the Ford chassis rather than the Chevy. As I mentioned, it's just a smaller chassis than what the Chevy is, so you don't get quite as much power, which is why we've chose to option it with the Chevy chassis instead.
And here's a great shot of all the storage that's available underneath the dinette here in the 25B. So just an incredible amount of storage underneath the dinette. And as Casey had indicated earlier, also available to create an additional sleeping surface. But really good question.
Yeah, the dinette that we just looked at, that's actually a 42 by 70 inch sleeping space. The sofa bed is 40 inches by 67 inches. You can also get a small 2-person dinette located here where this sofa is. And that would be a little bit smaller. When that one's made into a sleeping space, it's 25 inches by 67. Really nice double bowl sink with a high-rise faucet here in the galley area, so you get some really nice working space. Good cabinet storage above as well.
Great follow-up question that just came in from Linda wanting to know if we can install an oven or a convection oven in the 25B. And you know, as we kind of talked about earlier, we can certainly explore either. Anything's possible. Right now, neither are a factory installed option, but we can certainly look at doing one. We put in a lot of stoves for people. Really, the flip side to it is the incredible amount of storage underneath. If we were to move away from that, we'd want to put a convection oven up top, but again, anything's possible.
So one of the really nice things that Winnebago does in each and every one of their lines is really centralizes all of your controls. So that way they're all in one convenient location so that you're not having to run around the coach to turn on a water heater, your water pump, things like that. You can do it all in one location. So you do have the heated holding tank feature located just here at the top, as well as all of your controls for your air conditioning unit, as well as your furnace. And then, of course, this panel will look very similar to what we looked at in the 25P. So you have all of your levels for your freshwater, gray tank, as well as your black tank and LP and battery levels, along with your water pump, water heater, and then the start and stop for your generator, as well as the hour meter that's on that.
Then just a couple of comments that have come in, and Josh, you can kind of stay in this area or slide over to the bed. Chris had just chatted in, actually kind of a follow-up to the question that John had chatted in. John asking why there are no slides in the coach, and then just to circumvent with a point that Chris had made, this is really just a great coach for the price point. You know, and Winnebago has had slide outs in different models before that have crept up on price, and it is a very value-based coach. I mean, this coach stickers at about $73,000, so a very impressive value in terms of getting all of the quality that Winnebago offers at an affordable price point. So a very, very well done coach with a sticker price of around $73,000.
All right, we'll go ahead and take a look inside of the wardrobe closet here. Scoot out of the way. So you actually get some really good opportunities for hanging storage here in the 25B. So this is going to be your larger wardrobe area where you can get some really nice space, as well as, of course, the drawer stack that's located below. So you do get a few drawers just below the hanging wardrobe. Just across from that is actually another shirt closet where you have another additional area for some hanging space.
Again, a good testament to Winnebago's smart space philosophy using computer-aided design, because the shirt closet is located just above your feet at the foot of the bed. So you get a real nice bed that's only 6 inches shy of a true queen bed, and then you still get the shirt closet up top above the feet of the bed.
Yep, and so that's just next to the double door Norcold refrigerator. This is controlled by both LP as well as electric, and of course you can leave that just right on automatic, so that way it'll use whichever source is available. So a really nice size refrigerator and freezer here. Again, you've got some nice adjustable bins as well as shelves, so you can get that exactly situated the way that you like it, as well as, of course, the freezer that's located just above that. We'll take a look back at the corner bed. As Ron had mentioned, it's very close to a full-size queen. It's actually 54 by 80 inches. So a true queen would be 60 by 80, so it's just 6 inches shy of that in reference to the width. Get a nice window located here in the bedroom area, as well as, again, some great bank of storage up above, as well as the shelf that you're able to store things on. In addition to that, that has the 110 volt outlet just in the upper right hand corner, so that if you do have cell phones that need to charge or alarm clocks, things of that nature, it gives you a really great spot in order to do that. And as we saw when we were outside, all of the storage that's underneath the bed is actually outside, so it doesn't have the type of storage as what the 25P did. We will step back into the bathroom. So some similar features. I mean, of course, you have the pedestal toilet that also has the foot flush on that. Really great storage in the 25B, because you get this entire corner that has some shelving units, as well as, of course, what's located below the sink. You have a nice 12 volt powered vent here in the bathroom as well, so that you can get some air circulation. Go ahead and open up the shower. Get a really nice shower space, and of course the extra skylight that actually adds a lot of extra height clearance, and of course brings in some really great natural light. You also have the convenience of the adjustable shower head, where you can go ahead and stop your water to conserve water while you're showering and not have to readjust the temperature each time. As Ron had mentioned, you get a lot of the Winnebago quality at a really great price. It does have the one-piece fiberglass roof, which is a really great feature for more of an entry-level coach. Again, so you get a lot of value and a lot of quality within this RV.
And as we're kind of wrapping up today, there was one follow-up question that came from the all-new 2014 Winnebago Via 25P that had come in from Jim, wanting to know why there is not a ladder on the back of the Via. And there actually has not been since that coach was designed. We often get the question if one can be added. There's not the structural support there to add a ladder. Winnebago has gone towards more of an automotive style level of exterior design with the Winnebago Via, as well as the Itasca Reyo. So you'll start to see that a little bit more. In fact, you'll start to see it again later this year in some of our diesel pushers, without the fact that we have rear ladders. So a good question that Jim has chatted in. So we're going to go ahead and wrap things up, but I just want to remind people that if you have some specific questions on any of our in-stock RVs, we can do a live interactive presentation one-on-one with any of our sales consultants. In fact, we do it nearly on a daily basis now because it has been so popular. So I encourage any of you that are working with our sales consultants, just let them know that you want to do that. We'll also ask and see if you have interest in doing it, because we can do a live interactive presentation from the comfort of your own home, your own office. So again, I just want to remind each of you that that's always available to you. So again, I want to thank everyone for joining us. We had nearly 300 people with us today. We had approximately 50 people within the chat console submitting a lot of great questions as we give America's first glimpse of the all-new 2014 Winnebago Via 25P and the Itasca Reyo 25P, and here within this coach being the Winnebago Minnie Winnie 25B and the Itasca Spirit 25B. So again, thank you. Happy spring to each of you, and stay tuned next month for another live webcast at Lichtsinn Motors, America's closest dealer to Winnebago, Itasca, and Era here in Forest City, Iowa.